This is another edition of Senior Beat. Today, we have with us Mary Jo Riley, Supervisor of Senior Center, and we have Mark Berry, Director of Parks and Recreation. Hello. Today, we're going to discuss the Senior Center reopening update. We just want to start with kind of like what are we doing and what's going on?
So probably a lot of people are asking, why hasn't the senior center opened up yet? And I can tell you that Mary Jo and other senior center directors in the area have been working with the state to develop a set of guidelines. They have been working with the state epidemiologist, with the Commissioner for Disabilities and Senior Services, and a number of other state representatives. Currently, the recommended guidelines for those 65 and over are stay home and stay safe. I know new guidelines will be coming out at some point, but I can tell you that the staff has been busy while we've been closed doing providing other terrific services for the community, and I think Mary Jo is going to talk a little bit about those. So we were fortunate enough that we did not have to furlough any of our full-time staff. The town was able to provide laptops to some of the staff that had childcare issues, so the staff was able to, at some times during the week, work from home. And there was also some flexing of schedules so that some staff would come in early, some staff, they'd go home for a while and then come back in an effort to try and reduce social distancing. And the staff currently are spread out all throughout the building. So everybody is operating in their own space. And everybody is wearing a mask. We're all taking precautions to, yes, thank you, Cindy. We're all taking precautions to make sure that the staff stay healthy. And I do want to say, and I know I speak for everyone at the senior center, that they are all very anxious to have all of you seniors back at the community center.
Yes, we are. Thank you, Mark. So in a nutshell, we have not opened because of the stay home, stay safe. Governor's order has not been lifted.
That's correct. Yeah, that's still the message under the directive from the governor, is that those 65 and over stay home and stay safe. And I know it's frustrating for folks to look out and see people all over the place, doing different things, starting to go out to restaurants and things like that. And we are just as anxious to open the senior center as you are to come back to the senior center, but we need to make sure that we do it safely. And that's what we're working towards with all those state experts and the governor's task force.
Yes. So for those who are the 55 to 65 range, I think that might be some of our population who's most antsy to get back in here. Why should they also be concerned?
Well, I think they should be concerned because they're close enough to that 65 and older age that when they get COVID-19, it's serious. It's not as simple as, oh, I've got some flu-like symptoms, or I've gotten it and I never felt any symptoms. So you really just have to pay attention to, what are my risk factors? Do I have any long-term health issues? Those types of things that could put you at risk for a more serious case. And we're not saying don't go out, but be smart about going out. Still wear face mask, wash your hands frequently, bring hand sanitizer with you. Just think about things before you just jump into going out.
Right. And even if you're not getting sick, you could potentially be giving it to someone else. So let's just do the whole.
Right. And if you don't, that's true. And if you don't know, like, say a teenage grandson doesn't know if they've been exposed because they haven't been tested, and they go visit their grandparents now because the stay-at-home state safe has been lifted for them, they could be exposing their grandparents to COVID without even knowing it. So it's really being cautious and thinking about what you're doing still.
I think it's a great idea, especially seeing that 12 states that have already reopened already have had a surge in COVID coming back and higher. So I think we're doing a safe thing, even though we are, like Mark said, really anxious to have everyone back here and start doing all our programs again. So some of the questions that have been coming to us as staff and on Facebook and emails and just phone calls, what about getting my taxes done with AARP? Is that still something that's happening?
AARP actually canceled because they could not find a safe way to do taxes. So people that haven't done their taxes yet, and they better get planning on how they're going to do it, really need to look at doing them online or contacting someplace like H&R Block or Liberty Taxes to see if they're doing them one-on-one, because some places now are opening up.
Correct. Okay. Mary Jo, what is the senior center doing now for seniors? And then what are we planning to do until we do open?
Well, right now, I think most people know we are providing medical transportation and grocery shopping transportation for seniors. We also have our grab and go meals where you can call in between 9 a.m. and 10:30 in the morning, order a meal, and then you pick up between 11:30 and 12:30, and the staff bring the meal out to you. But starting in July, we are hoping to try an outdoor Tai Chi class at 8 in the morning. So it's a little bit earlier than we normally do programs, but it should be a cooler part of the day, and people will need to sign up by calling the center, and it'll meet in the roller hockey arena. And a nice thing about that roller hockey arena is we also had pickleball courts painted on there. So people are currently able to go play pickleball Monday through Friday. They can call us for the times, but the courts are pretty much available all day after 8:30, and the nets are put out by a volunteer in the morning and then taken in at night. So that's available. We are also looking to try to do an outdoor concert in the parking lot where you can stay in your car or put a chair next to your car, still with masks and social distancing in mind. But it would be a way to just get out of the house and enjoy, you know, some good music. We currently are doing a lot of different virtual programs. Our Discover Connections program for people with memory issues and socialization issues has continued. They meet online once a week. And then we also have We Wednesdays in the morning on Wednesdays. And that's a social time. So if you're looking to meet up with friends or just want to talk to people instead of talking to yourself, which was what I tend to do on the weekends, you can join us on We Wednesdays. So we are continuing to do those programs. And again, a lot of this in the July-August newsletter will be printed up on programs. And I think also that we're going to be having an oats walk or two.
Yes, we are. Yeah. We're having an oats hike in the middle of July, and we're going to start doing kayaking behind Spicer House, Mark.
That's correct. So we do have a few programs going, just trying to do things safely, but to allow for all of us that have cabin fever to get out.
So one of the things you both kind of addressed is we will be different when we do open up. What will be different here when somebody walks through the door?
Well, when they first walked through the door, we were actually going to have traffic patterns, kind of like Stop and Shop in the grocery stores, that there will only be one entrance, and that'll be the front door, and the exits will be out the side or the back doors closer to the exercise room and technology center. When you come in, because we're responsible for tracking how there might be exposure, people are going to have to swipe in at the computer at the front desk when they come right in, and we'll try to have our senior ambassador volunteers to help them, but they'll swipe in and then the volunteer will log them into whatever program they're coming from. And then we will also have hand sanitizers right there. So when you walk in, we want you to sanitize your hands, but we're going to be working on classes. So if you take a fitness class right away in the first session, we aren't going to be using hand weights or exertubes or anything that individuals could be putting their hands on because we can't really sanitize them. We will be able to use chairs, but the chairs can be sprayed down and sanitized. So there may be some limitations or changes in the fitness programming. Some classes may not start right away, like bridge, mahjong, cribbage, pinochle, pitch, because they share cards, they share tiles. And again, we can't sanitize between people passing cards. So those might be some things that are changing. We are going to be asking people to wear masks, and we're going to be expecting people to wear masks. We're going to be asking people, how are they feeling today? Do you have any signs or symptoms? Have you been exposed? So they'll be sick and tired of that questionnaire, but that's how we're going to scan people during the day. People may ask about temperatures. We're not going to be taking temperatures, mainly because seniors' temperatures, as people get into the higher ages, tend to be lower. So we may scan them as normal when they're actually having a fever. So we're not going to be taking temps.
Okay, you read my mind.
Oh, and Cindy, could I just add a couple of things? All the staff will be wearing masks. We have put up plexiglass shields at the front desk to separate the front office staff. And we've also will be spreading out the chairs so that folks won't be able to sit side by side. And I think we're also reducing the number of chairs and tables in the main room. So we're taking all of the steps to encourage social distancing and some of the other protocol. And we're also, Blackburn is going to be coming in more frequently, and they're going to be doing an enhanced cleaning, of the bathrooms, and also common touch points, flat surfaces. Blackburn will also be, addressing and sanitizing those areas more frequently.
Great. One of the questions you kind of touched on was the main room, the big community room where people usually would come in and lunch. People have been asking about, what about Coastal Cafe when we reopen? Are we going to be in the main room? Are we going to be able to get lunch and sit down with our friends? How is that going to work? I know from our end, it's a big pain, but do you want to explain that one, Mary Jo?
Well, one of the things we're looking at is maybe initially it'll still be takeout when it's warmer weather. We have put picnic tables around the building on the outside, thanks to our parks department. And so people may be they'll be coming into the building, but the meals will be takeout initially. We're still kind of in discussions about that. We have to follow the policies that are set forth for restaurants. So we have to reduce the number of people able to eat in the main room. So it may only be, for social distancing, 2 people at a table, okay. 1 at either end, 2 people at the round table, because they are 6 feet in diameter. So that reduces us down to less than 50 people in the main room. So takeout is still going to be promoted. People won't be going in and out from the main room. They'll be going into the cafeteria from the side entrance and then exiting into the main room again, trying to control the traffic flow so that there isn't a backup. And then we may be limiting the number of people. So you may be having to stand in the hallway to wait to go in and get your meal. So we're still working out the kinks with that. And again, we're still waiting for some further guidelines from the state.
Okay. So we only have a few minutes left, but I wanted to ask you guys a few more questions. You both addressed what will I need before I come to the center, a mask and whatnot. Do you have to do anything at home before you come to the center? Should somebody take their temperature at home, Mary Jo? You said for other people it's not.
I think on a daily basis, whether they're coming to the center or going to the grocery store, people should really just pay attention to how they feel. Yes, if they're not feeling that great, take your temperature, see if you're running a fever. Also note, where have you been? Have you been exposed to younger adults, to people that might have COVID that have been working or out and about, to your grandchildren who may be at camp and exposed there? So it's really important that you just kind of pay attention to what you're doing a little bit more. And when you're going out, yes, am I feeling well or not? I mean, we have a lot of people in the wintertime, we're always telling people, you're coughing, go home. You're not, nobody here wants to catch your cold. Well, now it's the same thing, but it's, if you have a scratchy throat, you're coughing, you're running a small fever, stay home and stay safe.
So with that real quick, what about medical transportation? We have been running it all along since March 13th. We've continued with takeout meals and we've continued with transportation for shopping and medical. What are we doing with medical transportation was one of the questions.
We're still asking the people the questions so that they're not getting on the van. We're requiring masks and we're limiting the number of people. So when people get on the bus, we have the seats X'd out with tape, and the seats that don't have tape, that's where you can sit. We have a barrier between the passengers and behind the driver. If the driver needs to assist someone, they'll put on gloves, but they typically don't wear gloves. The driver sanitizes the bus after the use of the bus. So between clients getting on and off, they will sanitize the bus. So we're trying to keep the risk for people going to and from medical appointments down.
Great. Some of the services we also offer that we haven't been doing are some of like the benefits counseling, nutrition, some of those. Are we going to be opening those back up for people?
We are looking at starting when our counselors are ready to start, to do some possible one-on-one where, yes, you would come into the building with a mask. And if your appointment is at 1, don't arrive at 12:30 because you're not going to be able to come into the building until 1. And then when you're done with your appointment, it's not going to be, oh, I'm going to socialize with the ladies at the front desk. We're going to ask you to immediately leave because, again, we're trying to reduce your risk as well as reduce the risk of the staff.
Right. So no loitering.
Yeah, unfortunately, not for now. Hopefully, maybe by 2021, we'll go back to you can come and stay and do what you want.
I know this has really put a damper on all our big events that we love so much.
I know.
So with that said, I know Lamont, when I interviewed him the other day, Lamont Hill, our chef in the kitchen, not our governor, Lamont, he said one of the things he misses most is the daily interactions with everyone and at the events and, getting the feedback. And he's like, there's something awesome about getting direct feedback from the seniors because they are very direct, but it helps us keep doing what we're doing. So although we've all been working behind the scenes, we still want to hear from everyone.
Yes, definitely.
We have a couple more minutes. Where can people get the most up-to-date information for the senior center and for the whole department?
Well, for the senior center, our July and August newsletter will be coming out very soon. So we will be putting that out in a rack outside the front doors of the building. So people, even if you're not picking up a meal, you can swing through and grab a newsletter. We also have a bookcase of books and some other things you can grab out there. But also Facebook and Instagram and our website would provide information.
I mean, you can get the newsletter online.
Yes, that's true too.
Mark, how about for the whole department? How can they get information?
We did not print a brochure for this summer, but if they go to our webpage, the brochure is there that they can look at it. And there's also a link to all of the current state of the parks and what is open and what is closed. I am pleased to say that just about everything is open now at this point, except for basketball. And right now that's scheduled we're going to put the rims and the backboards back up on July 6th, based on the current guidelines. But people who can get out and hike, walk the trails, and for those 65 and over that still skateboard, the skate park is open. And you can get down to the beach. And I do want to let everybody know that at the different parks that have portalettes, we have a park ambassador that is going around, and the portalettes are getting sanitized about 4 times a day. The bathroom at Quantic Plains Park just opened up yesterday, and the bathroom at Esker Point Beach is still closed, but that's because it's under renovation. But we are expecting that to wrap up soon. So just about everything is up and running again within the parks.
That has definitely been a perk of all of this, is once the weather broke and we got the nice weather, was everyone's getting outside and they're enjoying and taking part in the parks and the trails and what recreation has to offer. And then Mary Jo, we've done virtual classes and continue to do them, and those will be in this newsletter that again will be outside and online if you need. And always you guys can call us at 860-441-6785. And Mark and Mary Jo, I want to thank you both very much for this update. We know
Thank you.
Very convoluted trying to figure out what we needed to tell people. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy. Great job.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, and everyone